All right, welcome back to the Dearly Beloved YouTube channel. Today we're in a new studio, and I've taken on a project with a kind of 5 to 6 day time crunch of building a pedal board to reproduce sounds that were done in a studio for an album. That way they can go out, play live, and have full confidence it's going to sound just like they want to convey that original tone from the album straight to a live audience. We don't have all the exact same gear in the studio, but I can call a couple audibles. I've heard the album a whole bunch of times. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's get after it. Okay, in this box that we so lovingly opened for you, we have the expand board. Now on the expand board you have to assemble it, so some assembly required. I'm not going to make you sit through all that. So we'll go ahead and get this thing put together, and then we'll show you what pedals we've chosen to recreate all these tones. Alright, sick! So the holes on the side of the board line up with the external side, and then these internal sides go to the other side. So it knows which ones to pull in and out. You can always screw them in one way, and it's literally one little card for the setup. So it should go pretty easy for most people. I've done a ton of these pedal board builds, but I've never done an expand board, even though I bought one to use one, just haven't had the time to put mine together yet. So this is my first experience with this board, putting it together. I love it when it's put together. We have one that we'll put in a pan shot down here on the floor that we're going to have to rob a couple pedals from. We'll talk about that in a bit. So once you get them in, just get them somewhat snug. Don't worry about doing the other side yet. Just go a little bit more than hand tight. So you can see that they're lining up. They're going to go travel down. I got two more. Then we'll attach the spacer and then the other side. So if we do want to expand it, we can. All right. Okay. So in putting together this pedal board right here, see, I've only made it a little bit further. And new guitar for the studio showed up. I don't even know what this is, but I gotta unbox it. So let's freaking get after it. I can't understate a good knife. Have a good knife. It's important. Whatever you choose, doesn't matter how big, how small, whatever. I use this to pry up staples, opening boxes, which I'm gonna have to do for this too. So I'm glad I have this one with me. It's tough. I don't care if I dent it or ding it. Ooh. So it's an actual Gibson, not just in a Gibson box. Oh, good job packing it. Whoever packed it did a great job. Staple on the top, nice tape. Old school brown case. I'll go this way with it. So we get the cool reveal together. Les Paul gold top. Sick. And that's not just any gold top. That'd be a slash. That'd be a slash. That's freaking sick. I'm glad they chose not to do the zebra stripe pickups. It looks a lot cleaner like this. And if you didn't really see this emblem up top, you just think it's a super sweet gold top.
It's the Victoria.
Victoria.
Dark back.
Oh.
From the mod shop.
Doesn't really do that justice. Let me see if I can get that light to hit that grain a little bit more. So super dark back on this. It's the Victoria series from the mod shop. I've never seen one like this. That's really, really cool. Freaking sweet. That's going to be fun to crank up. Let's just hope the G-string stays in tune. If not, we'll make it stay in tune. Either way, we'll show you how to do it too. All right, cool. Let's put this back away and get back to doing what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, so now that I got this, so secondary rail fits inside of here, and you have a couple screws per each baffle. I'm only going to put 2 here and 2 here. That's what the kit came with. It might have more that I haven't found yet, but that's plenty enough. We're not going to max this thing out. I'm not worried about stability. So they're the ones that have the little rounded head to them, and then they have this extra little washer piece. Let's just drop right down in. And good job on the machining, Diodario. Like whoever did your extrusions, the machining on this, like everything has gone in super smooth. There's no like weird chance of me like cross threading this stuff, as I'm having trouble with this screw. It's the first screw I've had trouble with. Everything else has been freaking super easy. A nice rounded over wrench end, so the weird angles still turn the nut just fine. Just nice and thought out. Like if you got to put something together, at least give them the right tools to do it correctly.
Hard, stiff nut.
We want it nice and stiff. Okay, they're snug. Now, if I knew this was going on a super long tour, like some of the boards I've done in the past, I would Loctite every single one of these. This is going to be used for band practice, and then maybe a couple of gigs here or there. If they end up getting super serious and going, we will build a dedicated tour board and not use an expand. I'll make sure everything has its own exact place. There's no movability. There's nothing that could fail on the road. This is great for prototyping and playing around with your sound, adding pedals, taking away pedals. That's exactly what it's for. This is a total playground of a pedal board. I super dig it. Love the concept of it. That's why I got one for me, and I'm sure I'll show you how to put that together someday too, of what I chose for my personal board. But that's a little ways out. All right, so sometimes when you look at the instructions, you think you understand the process. It went together great. It slides in and out just like it's supposed to until you hit these little lock switches. These are just little tensioners. Well, if this part of the board is not against that tensioner, it's not going to do anything. So I'm just going to slide it to where I think we're going to need it. We'll be good to go. It's just for practice here for now. If I need to bomb-proof it, like I said, I'm going to change to another board. It's fine for now. And if I need to leave it all the way extended, whatever, it's fine. So yeah, this needs to be just coming out this side. If you're going to build one of these at home, don't have this out the left. Have it out the right. That's the correct way to do it. All right, okay, cool. We'll go from there. All right, now comes the decision of what we have to take off of an existing board. Normally, I would generally recommend somebody, if we had time to plan out, then it would be, hey, this is a pedal that you want to have, this is a pedal that you want to have, and this is a pedal that you want to have. Okay, try to find a second one, so you don't have to rob a pedal board to build another pedal board. In this instance, it's just for a weekend for now. I can put it right back to where it was, you know, next week. Like I said, I got 4 or 5 days to get this done. So what's coming off of this board... All right, so what's coming off this board, we got the Digitech drop, the Keeley compressor, and then it's going to be the Flint, which will be our main reverb, which was used in the studio. We know 100% that was there. ISP Decimator 2 was also used in the studio, so that's coming as well until we can get another one. All right, we'll go from there. All right, order of signal. We're going to go into the Digitech drop, then the Polytune, then the compressor, double barrel, Warhorn, Bonsai, Phase 95, Ibanez flanger, 10-band EQ, ISP Decimator 2, so I can have the delay and then the Flint reverb outside of the effects loop of the noise gate. You don't want your trails to suddenly cut off just willy-nilly. It's a big help to make sure you put your noise gate in front of any kind of fading effects, we'll put it that way. All right, so it's pretty important to keep a tidy workspace. Like, just grab a garbage can. Don't just randomly throw stuff everywhere, like just makes the floor a mess, takes longer. Work clean. It's one of the best ways, especially if you want to go ever do this as a service for somebody else, like I am. You can make really good side money, just like gigging as a musician. Like, people need techs to make sure they feel solid and comfortable before they go on stage. So I am usually the guy behind the soundboard, or the guy behind the pedal board, or the guitar tech, generally not the guy on stage. Played a couple of times live. It was fun. I mean, super adrenaline rush. But I get mad stage jitters, but I like to pay attention to the dynamics of a band and really sit down with them and make sure everything is dialed in exactly how they want it. And so it can bring to the table the energy and the tones that they want to bring for the show. So that's what I like to do. So going to go ahead and line up the Velcro so it lines up nice with the pedal board. I'm going to cheat this all the way to the side that I can. Voila. There we go. First one down. Okay, I'll be back when the rest are Velcroed. All right, here is the last piece. This is so satisfying. Oh yeah, so satisfying. All right, gonna line this up nice and tight. Start with one end, and I hold the pedal and hold tension right here. So this is like a big, like tight band, and I slowly walk it the exact direction I need it to go. I can push it, pull it just a little bit. It's not gonna hurt anything. But that way you get no wrinkles, no freaking wrinkles. There's a screw here that doesn't count. Doesn't count. Pop this bad boy. So we spaced it off. So this extension would be exactly the same length as this right here. So it told me how much room I had down here to work with. So this is the configuration I came up with. I know we have some cool pan shot we'll do once we set it all up. But yeah, so satisfying. Last one down. Now it's just finishing up the wiring.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble.
Right, everything has power, everything has a patch cable hooked up. Next is to turn on an amp and test these bad boys out. Make sure there's no weirdness in the custom couple cables I had to make, which are the Planet Waves custom cable kit. They work great. I use them all the time. There are flatter ones if you absolutely have to save space, but every time I put these together they seem to be really, really good. So yeah, that's what we used for those custom cables that I needed to go from here to here on this weird front length, and then from here all the way back up to this ISP. So I can choose either to have these in an effects loop, or I can have it just go straight through to the front of the head and keep just the noise on the front end down. So that's how I chose to route it. It should fit pretty well for this project from the information that I have. And we'll go from there and do some testing. Alright, board is done, and now comes the fun part. We did a quick little make sure everything works. Now it's time to play with these friggin' choices. See what kind of cool tones we can get out of it. Alright, so the pedal was specifically built with the EVH 5150 6v6 in mind through the 5150 cabinet. So you got all choices of cabinets here. We wanted to keep it simple, keep EVH with EVH. That's what was used in the studio. So that piece of the puzzle is correct. So let's get after it and see if we can get it to make some noise, and some angry noise, which EVH is known for. Alright, this is the part where I borrow his hands. They're also attached to his body. Okay, they're attached to a body, they're not just hands. Sweet Novo guitar. Testing this pedal board out with the original riffs that these were built around. So let's see how good my ear is from remembering the song on the album to dialing it really fast. Okay, here we go.